Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is me once again, screaming into the void of the internet. Just got off of a freaking long shift, man. It's 1:20 and I just clocked out. Now I gotta wait on this freaking Uber, and who knows how long that's gonna take. So I just thought might as well make the most of it and freaking, talk about something. So something that's been on my mind are two things that I'll talk about, and I think they're kind of correlated, in my opinion. And it's this, right? It's this. Men and women, right? Both of them, both the sexes, have these false images of one another, right? And the other half was why I won't compete in a rigged freaking system. Now, I'm going to focus on one, okay? And then I'll focus on another. So men and women, false images. Now, we all know that the gals have ridiculous standards. Their image for guys is in their minds. They all think that they deserve this like freaking loaded, wealthy, tall guy that's hung like a horse downstairs, right? But the thing is, it just proves like the avarice of them. It just proves that they can't like be satiated by anything, in my opinion. Because you got to think about that for a minute. Let's theoretically say that every single man, for example, becomes tall. Every single man's got at least like freaking 7-inch cocks and all this crap, and they're all wealthy. Well, now if everyone's wealthy, guess who's wealthy? No one. That's just the average now. And 9 times out of 10, if that was the average, it just go up. They wouldn't be satisfied. Even if every single man on this earth looked like Superman, right? They wouldn't be satisfied with that. It would just be the next thing. They'd have to find some way, because humans always try and find a way to like differentiate themselves and act like they're superior and stuff like that. So, in no freaking group is it worse than with chicks, in my opinion. Like, it's just always trying to outdo one another. Like, even like when I was working, I'm over here listening to the girls talking about, I need my nails done, I need my hair done, and stuff like that. And it's like, why? Like, they were talking about going to salons, paying $300 to do their nails. And these guys are going around here thinking, it would be so wonderful if I had a woman in my life. Yeah, and you over here just coughing up $300 so some chick can get her nails done? Listen, let me tell you something right now, okay? And I say this 100% as just a normal guy. My feet, and I don't mean it that way, you sick bastards, and not no foot fetish, but my feet look better than most freaking chicks. You want to know why? Because all I do is like, when it's getting to about that time, you just clip them with a nail file. Well, not a nail file. You just clip them with a toenail clipper, and then you maybe like file it so like, it stops the nail from like curving too much, right? And then I basically have like an abrasive pad that I like, scrub the heels, and I scrub like the foot and all that stuff with. So I don't have that ashy, dry skin that you see. And it's like, some of these gals, man, they take that freaking sock off, or they show up in sandals and stuff like that, and they're talking about how good their toes look. And I'm like, your foot is ashier than the freaking volcano. What? You talking about how good your toes look? I'm looking at this freaking powdered donut of a foot you got there. Like, that's insane. That's freaking insane. Like, I don't know how they can go out and think that crap's all right, And again, I'm saying this as a guy who does not get pedicures or nothing. Not that I really care if guys get pedicures. It's your freaking money. Spend it on whatever the heck you want to spend it on. But again, you could freaking buy a nail buffer and do that crap yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys out here thinking that like their life gets easier with a woman. No, it gets harder. It gets harder, because that's a whole lot more money that you're spending, and it ain't even funny. But don't get it twisted, because I'm going to talk about men now. Men have a false image of women as well, because for men, they've always interpreted women as these dainty little things that are like, kind of do no evil and stuff like that. And if they have one in their lives, it's just all sunshine and rainbows. It's all love and blah, 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 right? And in this day and age, through the use of technology and social media and, video after video that they're seeing, they're realizing that, that's not the case. But they're trying to convince themselves that, oh no, it's just here. It's just the West. It's just these European countries. It's just the modern countries. If I just go far east enough, then it's fine. No, because the fact of the matter is, guess what? This is what every chick is like, if they can get away with it. That's the thing. You see, even in these Middle Eastern countries, when you read about them, there are chicks doing the same crap that they're doing here. Whether it's trying to cheat, trying to talk to someone else, trying to start some drama, it's there. But guys refuse to let go of the image. And I don't get it twisted. I think that the guys have a lot more reasonable image for what they want to see women as. And what they want to see women as are these wonderful, beautiful little creatures that make our lives just so much better, and they give us a place where we can feel vulnerable, wonderful sex, and wonderful intimacy, and that's what guys want to see girls at. It's a lot more reasonable than, being tall, being bulky, having freaking 7 inches down there and stuff like that, being wealthy. It's a lot more reasonable, so I can understand why a lot more guys, have a reasonable thing. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's still a lie. It's still a false image. That's not what they are. And just like you get mad that the gals don't want to see guys as what they are, you don't want to see the gals for what they are. You don't want to see them for what they are because it hurts you. It hurts you. It hurts you. It hurts the gals when they realize that they can't get freaking, wealthy business tycoon, super tall, handsome, blah, blah, blah. It hurts them because they get pissed. They feel like they're entitled to it. But don't get it twisted. A lot of guys themselves feel entitled to, like, the freaking, fairy tale woman. There's a reason why the fairy tales end in happily ever after. Because they're fiction. It's not how the life works, man. It's not how life works at all. Sucks, I know, but kind of is what it is. Now, kind of want to get to topic number 2, right? I won't compete in a rigged system. Now, I'm not really the type to talk about relationships. Not at all. But I think one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people get mad when they hear that you don't really care about relationships and you don't really care is because they've invested all this energy. They invest all this money, especially men, right? And to hear a guy say that, oh, I just don't give a rat's arse. Oh, I just pay for sex. Oh, I just don't care. Oh, I have a sex doll, whatever. It just tells them that all of those courses that they took, all of that testosterone, all of that freaking protein supplement, all of this expense they put towards bettering themselves was for naught, because you're still getting just as much action if you choose to just pay for sex as the next guy. Yep, is what it is. And they hate that because we live in a society that no matter how rigged the game is, they want you to play in it. They want you to play the game. And my thing is this. I always compare it to, like, video games, since it is a game, right? A video game is different than real life, I don't need to be the best player in Minecraft to build a house. I can still win by, like, just having a simple house. It may not be like a freaking cathedral like some of these people who are, like, really creative and whatnot, but I can build a house because I know what to do. Now, the way that life works, unlike video games, is we can all have the same knowledge, we can all know what to do, and we can all try to do the same thing, and only a few of us actually have it pay off. So they want you to, again, do the same thing as like everyone else, but they also know that only a very, very, very small group of people are actually going to have that effort pay off. You might just be lucky to get the bare bones, if you're lucky. But for the most part, you're usually not lucky. You don't even get the bare bones. And you're just told to just suck it up and take it. And in my opinion, yeah, good joke. That's a raw deal. I'm willing to look at that, and I think a lot more guys in general these days are willing to look at that and realize that that is a raw freaking deal. And they don't have to take that. They don't have to take that. Gents, you don't have to put up with that. No matter what anyone wants to tell you, you don't have to put up with that. Not at all. It's bullcrap. It's bullcrap. You don't have to... Listen, no matter how rigged a game is, you don't got to play it. That's why they say, oh, you're just a loser, you just can't get women. And you say, nope, I just pay for pussy. And they get mad. They want to try and say that doesn't count. Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Oh, you're just a loser, you just want to live in a room. No, it's not just about that. I just want to save money. Yeah. Oh, you just don't want to buy a car, you're just a loser. No, I just don't want to get screwed in the arse with freaking car insurance, have a depreciating asset, and yeah. I have realized just how rigged the system is and how they want to screw me over, so I'm going to go ahead and change certain things accordingly. It doesn't mean that this will be the case forever, but at least until I can guarantee that I'm alright, yeah. I'm going to change the way I approach things. I think a lot of guys, in general, are changing the way that they approach things. Is it for the better or worse? I don't know, because a lot of people are trying to make it seem like we're supposed to have families. Good lord, dude. These freaking trucks, but whatever. We're supposed to have families. We're supposed to have girls. And listen, no one is supposed to do anything. Your life is your life, okay? Your experience is your experience. Some of these suckers get so caught up in this freaking bullcrap about these relation craps and whatnot because they've never been in one and whatnot. And so they think it's all sunshine and rainbows. They don't realize how expensive it is to maintain a freaking chick and whatnot. They don't realize how emotionally draining that crap is, and the nagging. They don't have any freaking clue. No. I have no desire, personally, to submit to the whims of anyone, unless I'm getting something out of it. You see, I have to submit to the whims of, like, my so-called, co-workers and supervisors and blah, blah, blah here at work, because guess what? I'm getting money. That's what I'm getting out of it. What I would be getting in a so-called relation crap, as I like to call it, sex, I can just pay for that, and I don't have to submit. And it's cheaper. Because no matter what these guys want to think, you pay for a chick. Period, point blank. Dick is free, but pussy's expensive. Always has been, always will be. Only time it's not expensive, and I'll be graphic with this, and even then it's technically expensive because, guys will get themselves killed trying to get it. It was when you went barbarian mode and you just freaking slaughtered a group of guys and just took the gals. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and still say that was expensive because, again, you had to be willing to die because those guys were not just going to give up those gals. I know that's graphic, and I'm trying to, keep it as YouTube-friendly, air quotes, as I can when I say that, but that's about the only time it's, air quotes, free. Because trust me, no matter what these gals think about how independent they are, the moment that somebody is about to just come and take that, yeah, they find out really quickly that, yeah, they can't do crap. Yeah, I'm just being honest. And if you don't believe me, you go ahead and look at the Middle East. That feminism crap died immediately when America pulled out. So, yeah, I'm just being honest. All in all, what I'm trying to get at is this, okay? We both have, these fake images of one another. The gals think that all the guys are supposed to be tall and handsome and rich and, freaking long cock and all this bull crap, right? The guys want the gals to love them for who they are and give them, understanding and stuff. But at the end of the day, neither party wants to admit that that is just not what the other side is. And whether or not that's for the better or worse, I don't know. Because listen, at the end of the day, you have people that are taking advantage of that, right? Why do you think some of these guys are falling for the whole, trap thing I mentioned in, one of my videos recently, right? They're falling for the traps and the so-called femboys and the trans testicles. Why are they falling for that? Because those guys, okay, those men, present themselves as women, but not just any women. They present themselves as the women that they know that the guys want. Understanding, hey, it's easy to get in my pants, right? Hey, I'm gonna, screw you after every date, right? Hey, I'm always willing to do whatever you want me to, right? Yeah. So they're not really being women, they're being the women that the guys want. Which, again, is not the real women. It's the fantasy. Right? So, yeah. Neither side is really willing to understand that, yeah, that's just not what, that's not what the other party is. Not by a long shot. And no matter how much you might want it to be, like I've always talked about in my videos before, you gotta see reality for what it is. Well, you don't have to, but if you don't choose to see it for what it is, don't be surprised when it's playing you. Like a fiddle. It is what it is, right? And again, another thing. Yeah, this is a rigged game. And I don't just mean this about relationships. I mean this about, a lot of things, work and cost of living. It's a rigged game. And so don't be surprised when people are trying to find loopholes and strategies to, not have to deal with anymore. I'm seeing a lot more people, a heck of a lot more willing to just say, yeah, F this country. And go to another country. Could I do it? Personally? I don't really see myself doing it. And I'm going to tell you why. I like my ability to defend myself way too much in this country. And yeah, you could get drone striked. I understand that, blah, 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 right? But the fact of the matter is, the sheer fact that I could load up my entire house just to the brim with, freaking ammunition and stuff like that. Not that I would ever do that, because, listen, you can only carry, so many guns at one time. So, even if you had a whole bunch, unless you're actually using it, it's not really useful, right? So, the point is, I can defend myself. I have a lot of options to defend myself. And I give that up the moment I go into another country. Because no matter what people, oh, well, the crime isn't there, the school shooting, we are schools. Yeah, that bullcrap, yeah. They'll say that, but listen, let me tell you something straight up. If the government decides, yeah, we had enough of y'all, there ain't nothing you could do. There is no fighting back. Those guys do carry guns. The cops do carry guns. Maybe not the cops that just walk in the street day to day, but when they hear that there's need for it, oh yeah, they're gonna come and kill you. You see, they've got the guns. You don't got the guns. You think that's a good thing because, well, cops are on my side, right? Good joke, dumbarse. They're not on your side. They are lapdogs of the state. No, that I do not just refer to the United States. I refer to any governing body. The cops are the dogs of the government. They do what daddy government tells them to do. If that means shooting you in the freaking face, they'll do it. They'll do it with a smile. I was doing my duty. You just murdered a guy. Don't care about what you want to say your duty was. You just murdered a guy. Happens all the time. Throughout history, it's happened. Which is why I really laugh when people think that it won't happen. There's no way it can happen. That's what they try and convince themselves, but... oh, history. It says otherwise, you know? But I'm going to go ahead and leave it here because I don't know what the heck's going on, but I'm probably going to be waiting here a while, and my battery is already at 60%. So the last thing I want is to be freaking stuck here with no charger. Basically stuck waiting until the next day, you know, so yikes. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, boys. Thank you guys for listening to my crazy arse talk about all these things, because sad part is I got to come right back to this early in the morning. It's already freaking getting close to 2 a.m., so I think we're going to be on 4 hours of sleep again. 9 times out of 10, so it's not a good time. But thank you guys for listening. God bless. I will see you guys next time.